a basis for anger against an administration.
Raghav, even this small discussion today showed us that there is now a race towards backwardness, not a race towards prosperity. There is now a competition to say I am more backward than you, as a community, as a region, as a state. This is a disgrace unless we earn self-respect. Learn to recognize that resources must be utilized appropriately. We will always continue to be in this kind of a quagmire. What's happening is over-centralization, corruption, disgraceful politics, and plunder, a kleptocracy, have hurt Telangana, Rayalaseema, North Coastal Andhra, upland regions of Coastal Andhra, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Bihar, UP, you name it. The problem is misgovernance and corruption and over-centralization. The answer lies in the Constitution. 15 years ago, we came up with the 73rd, 74th Amendment.
Correct.
We should have had district governments today. We should have had each district to be controlled by the people of the district. Instead,
Correct.
We are now fighting over another centralized system. And as long as you don't really empower the people in the communities in each village and town and district, no matter how many states you create, the problem will fester into country.
The problem lies elsewhere, not just in the sentiments of Telangana, Rayalaseema or a Bundelkhand. It perhaps lies somewhere else. It's a systemic problem. Let's get to question number 2. In this entire political tirade that political parties have been conducting, have they divided the people of Andhra Pradesh? Your protests at Osmania University or a fast somewhere else has resulted in completely dividing the society on these lines.
No, they were never one. Till now, the Andhrites and Telanganites, they have not lived like brothers, okay? There are a lot of disparities. We have been deprived of our jobs, our water, our resources, everything. Everything has gone to Andhrites.
People are talking about a differentiation between Telangana and Andhra. In my own class, there are loads of people who are from Telangana, but do I discriminate them? Enough of you discriminating on basis of sex, race and everything. Now, in the name of region also it is. Don't you think all this is something similar to the racist attacks in US and everywhere?
Can the people of Andhra Pradesh and Rayalaseema be responsible for the state's neglect of Telangana?
Lot of agreements, lot of pacts, everything. No, not even a single agreement is implemented. No, not a gentleman agreement. We were an independent state. We were never with Andhra with Madras.
Do you really believe that for a farmer in Telangana or for a farmer in Rayalaseema or for a farmer in Andhra, that this sentiment is what matters more, or is it his bread and butter that matters more? Is this just a political creation?
When primordial passions are roused, people forget their real interests. So we must not judge by these momentary passions. That's exactly what politicians thrive in. They have definitely succeeded in sowing the bitter seeds of hatred and division right now. But people don't remain the same. Ultimately, we understand what is in our best interest, and eventually the farmer, the student, who are the kids who are dying? Who are the kids who are facing the lathi charge? It's not Madhu Yaskhi's kid and my kid and Payaval Keshav's kid. It is the poor kids who have no chance. People who don't have properties. People who see no opportunities.
Do you agree that India of 2009 does not have the space for such sub-regional feelings of dividing people?
One should have taken it up from their mind. Asking for a smaller state, asking for a state is not an anti-national. The separate state movement is different than secessionist movement. So let's not term looking at this separate Telangana movement is a secessionist movement. This is kind of propaganda is going on, which is not correct.
It's a different school of thought. Small could be better or small could be worse. We have a Chhattisgarh experiment where it is being totally unruly. We have today's Indian federal structure, if you see, the larger the better, the larger the negotiating strength with the union government. Precisely that's what is driving the major parties to become these weaker states and these stronger governments. So there cannot be a clear-cut division that the smaller is better.
Let me ask the third big question. Do you believe whether it's the fast of K. Chandrasekhar Rao or whether it was the resignations put in by MLAs across, how many of you believe it is just drama?
What is happening now is an orchestrated drama.
You have been in the forefront of the movement. How much do you trust K. Chandrasekhar Rao's fast?
Now the movement is not in his hands. It went to the people. The real people, real students. Now it is not in his hands.
Do you believe he was serious in his fast?
People must let the people decide and all the political parties decide.
All right. We don't have a TRS voice in on this show, but we did try and put the same question across to K.T. Rama Rao, son of K. Chandrasekhar Rao, earlier in the day, and this is what he had to say.
It's not just the TRS which moots the cause. It's all the parties and all the public representatives in the region that have come out openly and said, we want Telangana. Today, as you've rightly said, there may be some people on the other side asking for a united Andhra, but there's not a single voice in Telangana which is seeking united Andhras.
Many say that maybe you are serious, but several others who have put out their resignation letters are just enacting a drama.
It's very false to believe that kind of a scenario, because resignation is not a child's play. We have to answer when you go back. You have to tell your people why you did. In case if there's someone has to take back, it's a foolish. I mean, he's ruining his political career. It's impossible for him to take back in this kind of a scenario right now.
Let's now move into the fourth question. Sitting in Hyderabad, it's perhaps important to realize that brand Hyderabad has also taken a huge beating.
Hyderabad has a heterogeneous nature and it's a cosmopolitan city.
Can Hyderabad be shared between the two sides?
How you can divide one mother India into so many TRS demanding today for Telangana, MIM will demand for Hyderabad. Demand for Correct. MIM tomorrow will demand for separate Hyderabad. Who will be responsible? These politicians, we gave a right to rule, not to divide.
You have several different regions which was wanting to go ahead based on the number of regional parties that India will have. Where does it end?
See, this is a misconception. Again, I'm saying this. Asking for a state, they should understand the difference between a Kashmir movement and a separate state movement in Bundelkhand and Telangana to other. Here the self-governance and historical facts are different here. So underdevelopment is one of the reasons.
So we have given up our capital and come here and settled. We also have our own share of building this great old city. I cannot see it in isolation that Hyderabad has to be in one picture.
Similar issue raised when Gujarat was formed from Bombay state. The same issues raised by Gujaratis that we built it, we invested there.
Sacrificing a capital
that
somebody cannot imagine.
All right, fair enough.
A lot, which we did.
Fair enough.
When 30 crores of United States of America people, those people can have 50 states, why can't 100 crores of Indian population have 30 or 35 or 40 states?
No, but the question is, well, that's a fair point, but the question is that should those states be divided on these lines?
Yes, they have to be. There is a development for everyone equally.
How many of you believe Hyderabad can be shared?
Why do we give off Hyderabad after all this? Why do we give off?
When we can share a New Delhi as the capital of India, why can't Telangana and Andhra share Hyderabad as a capital? If it ever comes to that.
It's practically impossible. Sharing, it's not I have no objection sharing, but where Chandigarh is different because it's at the border. Here it is, see, people from Andhra also should reach Hyderabad, they have to at least drive 60 to 100 kilometers. So practically it's not feasible.
Final vote from the audience. How many of you believe that a decision on Telangana cannot be taken in the present situation when passions are so high?
This is our birthright. Telangana is our birthright.
No, final word in, because I think the audience is overwhelmingly for the Telangana reason. Do you believe that today there is a genuine fear in the rest of Andhra Pradesh?
Exactly. That's what is really causing us the concern. I mean, the only fear people have about their future, which needs to be addressed by every one of us here and the government of Andhra.
Is there going to be a solution through this issue, or is this going to linger on and used whenever politicians want?
Absolutely, there will be a solution, as Mr. Jaya Prakash Narayan says, not in this atmosphere. I offer to discuss from Telangana, offer to my colleagues from Rayalaseema to have a discussion, and this can be discussed and sorted it out.
All right. Do you think there is going to be a solution at all?
I'm an optimist. We'll muddle through this, but we will find a solution. But the solution cannot be on the streets of this city or this state or this country. It has to be through the constitutional and democratic and electoral process.
All right. Hopefully that solution to this entire Andhra-Telangana divide would emerge from constitutional and democratic means rather than violent protests on the streets of Hyderabad or Vijayawada. And on that optimistic note, we'll say goodbye to you. Thanks for watching.